We're back today for yet another video on Wrexham AFC, and as you can imagine, today's a transfer video. There's been a lot of these coming out on the channel recently, but things are spicing it up. There's rumours flying around left, right and centre about the club, and we're going to be talking about everything you need to know about Wrexham AFC transfer news in today's video. Just want to give a huge shout out to the guys over at Fearless and Devotion. I mean, what a read this was. Issue 6, you can pick yours up by clicking the link in the description down below. I've picked up issues 1 to 6. Like I said, incredible read every time they come out. Click the link in the description to get yours. Well worth an absolute bargain at £3 Great British pounds. Before we get into today's video, if you could subscribe to the channel if you are new, that would be absolutely massively appreciated. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're aiming to hit that before the start of the League 2 season. So if you are new, stumbling across this video, get down there, click the red subscribe button, because I'm going to be bringing you all of the best Wrexham content on YouTube for the upcoming season, pre-season, matchday vlogs across the whole year, you name it, it will be on this channel. Loads of effort's going to be put in. So yeah, if you could subscribe to the channel if you're new, that'd be massively appreciated. The first bit of news we're going to be talking about is Max Powell. Now, the former Wrexham target has opted to move away to Saudi Arabia instead of staying in the English Football League. Now, if you cast your minds back, maybe about 2 weeks ago, Max Powell was heavily rumoured by quite a few sources that Wrexham were interested in Max Powell, but things haven't really materialised, nothing's come from it, and now we've got the news that Max Powell is going to be linking up with former Liverpool striker Robbie Fowler at Saudi Arabian second division side Al Qadsiya. Now, I've probably bottled the name of that, but yeah, he is going to move away to Saudi Arabia. Obviously, we know him 45 appearances for Wigan in the Championship last year, only missed one, which was on the final day at Rotherham, so he's clearly a talented midfielder. He was a regular in the Championship, so he would have done more than a good job for us in our midfield three. And like I said, Power was a top target for Wrexham. Going into this League 2 season, obviously we know Power has played under Phil Parkinson at Sunderland in the past few years, so the links are there, and it would have been a signing that would have made sense. I think we can all gather the fact that the Saudi side have probably quadrupled Power's wages of what he was on at Championship side Wigan Athletic. If I'm being honest, it's probably a huge sigh of relief for Max Power, because Wigan failed to fulfil his wages 6 times last season. So having made 45 appearances and not being paid on time 6 times last year, I think a move away, a good money move for Power, is definitely deserved. And then obviously this makes even more sense with him being just one promotion away from playing against the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, 2 Ballon d'Or winners, N'Golo Kante, Ruben Neves, the list goes on. He will be playing against some of what once were Europe's top players, so you can't really be too mad at this one. I mean, he's either got the option to be possibly playing Al Hilal in his second year, or he could be playing to play away at Barrow. Max Power to Wrexham is extremely unlikely. Now, multiple sources saying the deal is done. Max Power is moving to Saudi Arabia to continue his footballing career. So, yeah, I mean, it's disappointing, but I think we'd have had to have done a lot to get Max Power to drop down to League 2. And it was reported that another Championship side was closing in on signing Power, but it seems like he's heading to Saudi Arabia. This is an interesting bit of news regarding Daniel Johnson. Now, Daniel Johnson was apparently close to joining Wrexham AFC before agreeing to join Championship side Stoke City upon his expiry of his contract at Preston North End. Now, don't shoot the messenger. This isn't fake rumours being made up from me, but it has come from Wonderboy over on Twitter. If you want all the in-the-know Wrexham news, head over, follow him on Twitter. He's mostly correct with the news that he does report on. He's reliable. He's got sources closely linked with the club, so I would highly suggest dropping him a follow on Twitter. So the news has come from Wonderboy that Daniel Johnson was close to joining Wrexham, but he has opted to move to Stoke City. Now, this is an interesting one if it is true, because part of this potential deal shows that we can attract higher end Championship players to drop down 2 leagues to come and sign for Wrexham. Obviously, that wasn't the case, but we were close to signing him, so it does show that the project we are offering to players is definitely lucrative. And like I said, although the deal is 99% not going to happen now, it does just show that players are genuinely interested in dropping down the leagues and want to be a part of this magical project under Ryan and Rob. I think another thing that played a factor in this potential signing was ambition. Now, Johnson has most likely turned us down for Stoke because he wants to be playing at a high level. I think it's as simple as that. If you've got an offer from Stoke City in the Championship, you're guaranteed to be starting the season in the Championship, whereas if you're dropping down to Wrexham, you're 2 leagues below, you're in League 2, you're playing against lower quality teams, and you aren't guaranteed to get promotion in the first year, promotion in the second year. And it would take a minimum of 2 years of Johnson to get back to where he has played the past 292 games of his career. So he obviously still feels like he's got a lot to offer in the Championship. And if we're going off ambition wise, is it a risk Johnson dropping down to Wrexham and obviously has the aims of getting back up to the Championship? Yes, because we've seen it in non-league, it's taken us 15 years to get out of it. But yeah, if Johnson, 30 years of age, if he wants to be playing at the highest level, it makes sense to go and play for another Championship team. And of course, Johnson is an international. He does currently play for Jamaica national team. He's made quite a fair few appearances for them in his career. So yeah, another factor that will have played a part is if he wants to be continuing to be regularly playing in the Jamaica squad, he needs to be playing at the highest level possible. Now, if this deal was close, then I am not scared to say I'm gutted. I'm genuinely gutted if this was the case. I mean, adding Johnson's experience into that midfield three would have been absolutely vital going into the League 2 season. Like I said, nearly 300 games played in the Championship for Preston North End. He was described as a hero and a fan's favourite at the club. It takes a lot to be described as a hero at a Championship club, and if we'd have got him to drop down to us just one season after he did play 30 plus games in the Championship, would have been an absolutely incredible coup. It's not the end of the world though. I'm sure Parkinson has other targets that he's going to turn to. And it was only time and it's only right that we talk about Nick Powell now. Like I said previously with Max Power, nothing major has materialised with a potential signing of Nick Powell. Since the rumours that did come out about a week ago, that's on our end. But Stockport County, the team who we went toe-to-toe with in the 21-22 National League season, have reportedly set their sights on signing Nick Powell, the free agent. Now, it was sort of out of the blue, this one. I wasn't really expecting a team like Stockport to go in for him, because at this moment I can imagine a team like Stockport just missing out on promotion to League 1 are talking to a dozen players. That's what I can imagine. I'm not saying that Powell is definitely not on their list. He probably is on a list of names that they could potentially sign, so I'm going to say it now, I can't imagine anything concrete has been agreed between Powell and the Hatters. So yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens with Nick Powell. If there's genuine interest from Wrexham and Stockport County, then it will be very interesting to see which side he does decide to sign for, because we know it, Wrexham and Stockport, similar stories going back up to the Football League. They've had their revival, they've got great owners in charge, 2 great clubs on the rise. Yeah, it will be interesting to see if Nick Powell does sign for Wrexham or Stockport County. Now, in my opinion, if we are looking to sign Nick Powell, then I genuinely believe there is no rush at all on our end. If Stockport do decide to take him on board, then I'd have no issue at all with that. I'm sure Parky and Co definitely have other names that are on their potential transfer signing list. It wouldn't be the end of the world if we didn't get Powell. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but I think we'll definitely have backup options if we aren't successful in signing him. This is the part of the video that I'm sure you all want to hear. It's regarding George Johnston, the young centre-half which has been rumoured to make the move over to the racecourse ground this summer from League 1 side Bolton Wanderers. Now, George Johnston has attracted genuine interest according to a few sources. Now, the 24-year-old left-footed centre-half currently plays his football in League 1 for Bolton Wanderers, having made 38 appearances for the Trotters as they did reach the League 1 semi-finals. So he played a huge role in that journey to the playoffs, and he also scooped up Bolton's Young Player of the Year award in the 21-22 season. So he's definitely a man of many qualities. I think getting a left-footed centre-back should definitely be one of our main priorities this summer, because obviously we do play 5 at the back with 3 centre-halves, and if I'm right in saying all our centre-backs at this moment in time are right-footed, so it would be nice to have that option of George Johnston, the left-footed centre-back, to cover in on that left centre-back role. And I think he's definitely one of the best realistic targets that we could possibly get. Now, the only stumbling block that we will come across when trying to sign George Johnston is the fact that he's contracted until 2024, so it immediately means we're going to have to get the cash out to sign him, and apparently Bolton Wanderers have offered him a new deal. So it's a question of, does he want to stay in League One? Does he want to stay at that high level? Or is he willing to drop down to League Two, get promoted back to League One where he was, play a role in Wrexham's team in the long term? I mean, it's definitely possible that we could get George Johnston in, but I think if we're being serious, and if we're going to be serious about getting Johnston, we'll definitely be looking at doubling our club record transfer fee, because it is not going to be easy to get a 24-year-old young prospect centre-half to drop down a league, especially after narrowly missing out on promotion to the Championship. Now, at 24 years old, 10 appearances for Scotland under-21s, 105 games in his career for Feyenoord in Holland, Wigan Athletic, Bolton Wanderers, I think it's fair to say if George Johnston was to put on a Wrexham shirt this season, it would be one of our best signings under the takeover. And it will certainly be even more interesting to see where Johnston does end up come the start of the 23-24 season. In my opinion, I think this transfer is definitely possible. I think we've got a 70% chance of signing George Johnston this summer. It's just about, can we offer a big deal to Bolton Wanderers that is hard for them to reject, and can we get him to agree terms contract-wise, because it's definitely going to be tough to get a defender who's had such a great season, narrowly missing out on promotion to the Championship, like I said before, to drop down a league. Does that slightly decrease his chances of potentially getting a call-up to Scotland national team? Probably, but if he wants a long-term career, I think Wrexham is definitely the place to be, and he will flourish ever so much in this team. Now, a word on the left wing back role. Two names have been rumoured to join Wrexham AFC this transfer window. One name that I think we've heard for the past 3 or 4 transfer windows, it is Declan John. I've done countless videos talking about John. My opinion hasn't changed on him, so if you go back on my channel, you'll find about 3 or 4 videos of me talking about this potential signing. Like I said, my opinion on signing him hasn't changed. All I'm going to add is the fact that apparently he can slot into that left centre-back role, which would be good. Declan John, obviously, we know he's a profound left wing-back, plays his football for Bolton Wanderers as well, like George Johnston. Rumoured to be moving to Stoke City in the Championship, like Daniel Johnson. Seems to be Stoke are getting in our way a bit, but if we were to get John, I wouldn't complain, it'd be a great signing. And a word on Jack Bridge, another player that we could potentially be looking at to sign in that left wing back role. Now, as for Jack Bridge, 13 goals for Southend United last year, one of their best players. I do believe he's a free agent, or he can leave because of the issues that are going on at Southend United. It's a signing that I can definitely see happening. We've seen the likes of Sam Dolby, Ryan Barnett, Jacob Mendy sign from fellow National League teams and absolutely flourish in this starting 11. So I can see the same happening with Bridge. If we aren't going for him and he does sign for another club, I can see him playing in the Football League. If not, definitely the likes of Chesterfield, or I wouldn't be surprised if Woking go out their way to sign him. But yeah, Jack Bridge, a man of many qualities, and I certainly would not be complaining if he was to sign for us. And also to note, he's very versatile playing in midfield, and obviously he would be able to be utilised as a left wing back. Now finally, some confirmed news coming out of Wrexham. Goalkeepers Alfie Burnett and Josh Blunkel, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name, have been on trial after the departure of Kai Calderbank Park. Now, if either of the two young goalkeepers do end up signing for Wrexham FC, then obviously they'll be utilised as the 4th choice keeper behind Foster, Pine, Howard, Pine, Lainton, but they will obviously play a consistent role in our reserve team squad, which obviously, who knows, they could build up a good string of games, they could have a string of good performances in the reserves, and then they might be involved in the matchday squad in the first team. Now, I think we can definitely expect to see these make an appearance in our friendlies this week. Obviously, we're playing one against Bala behind closed doors. I can 100% see these two goalkeepers make an appearance in that game. On the topic of goalkeepers, Kai Calderbank Park, the man who rejected a new offer at Wrexham AFC in the summer, is currently on trial at Paul Cook's Chesterfield team. He did make an appearance in the 9-0 win over Matlock Town, and it has been confirmed by Chesterfield coach Danny Webb as they look for a 3rd choice keeper. So all the best to Kai. I mean, what a move this would be for him, and I think he would do really well at Chesterfield. And another note on that man right there, Reesel Johnson. I mean, I couldn't be happier right now. He's found a great move and he has signed for Barnet in London. I mean, Barnet looked a really good team in the National League last year, and I've said it before and I've said it again, I'm disappointed to see this man go, because when he gets a string of games in the Wrexham team, I think he would have been contending for that right back spot. I mean, him and Barnet, when Reynolds Johnson was fully fit, would have been an absolutely quality addition and great competition for Barnet. But like I said, I hope he stays fit, because on his day, he is the best right back in the National League. There's no part of me that disagrees with that. And he did make his first appearance for Barnet just hours after being confirmed against Norwich in their 1-1 draw. So let's hope Hull Johnson, let's keep our fingers crossed that he does get a really good and successful season at Barnet. And all the best to Reynolds Johnson at Barnet. That is all the exclusive and latest Wrexham AFC transfer news. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like. Let's go for 500 likes, and I will see you in the next video. Up the town. Take care, everyone.